So guys, the question I've been getting a ton is, your Typhon 3S, your Typhon 2S, the Typhon 4S you had, what kind of batteries do you run when you're not running your stock G2 Spectrum battery? And there's a lot of reasons now to actually be looking at aftermarket batteries, because this car now is offered without a battery. And I think your best option is honestly to buy a bigger, better battery and not go with your stock Spectrum battery, because, well, let's be honest, the G2 Spectrum Smart batteries are kind of junk. The small batteries, the Arrma ones, are the Spectrum ones, but they're the 1400 2S. I've actually wrecked 2 of them now. I've had 2 go out. So there's a lot to be desired when you're looking into batteries, because with batteries, you want something that's going to last and be a good battery. And if you're looking for something stock, what I would suggest is this Genzace 2S. This is a 1550. It is only a 45C, still higher than that stock 2S battery. And more milliamp hour, you're going to see a little bit more runtime. I will tell you, the other day, I took this out and ran it. There's a stock video for that in my channel, if you look, the first run. And that stock battery doesn't last very long when you're running 3S. So this battery, or 2S, sorry, this battery is a little bit more milliamp hour. Should give you a little bit more runtime. Fits perfect, just like the stock Spectrum battery. Come right in here. But this is where you're going to start to see your problems when you start getting into aftermarket batteries. Is a lot of these batteries aren't going to come with an IC2 end, sorry. And this is a Dean's. These are not going to plug into each other. So you have a lot of options. You could change this end. This is not a smart accessory, so you don't have that third line, so you won't be hindering anything just cutting this off and soldering on a new one, or unsoldering this and soldering on a new one. You could just replace this with a Dean's, use this battery, happy away you go. But I wouldn't. I don't like Dean's connectors. I'm not even sure why this one still has a Dean's connector on it. I'm really partial to EC3, IC3, or XT60. And on these cars, I don't think I have an IC3 connector available right now, but I think what I'm going to do is switch into XT60. And with XT60, your EC3 will still plug in. So this is your 2S option, one of the best 2S options I think there is out there. If you guys have other options for 2S, please plug them down below, but this has been a good battery. I've had this battery for probably 5 years now, and I've used it in a lot of different cars and trucks, and so it's just been a good little battery. Now, when we talk about 3S, you got a lot of options. You got Hoohoo batteries, and either one of these would actually work. As you can see, this one will go in. So will this 2200 long pack, and so will this SMC 2200. But this battery is even bigger. This is a 80C, and these Hoohoos are a 50C, and this one's actually a 120C. But you're looking at 1500 milliamp hours compared to 2200 milliamp hours. So it's kind of on you where you want to go with it. So these are all great battery options. This is just a question I get asked a lot, guys, so I want to make a video on it. Here are your biggest battery options. And now, if you decide to go to a 4S battery, which in this stock you cannot run 4S, I do not suggest that you'll need to go to a Micro Mamba 2 and a 4400 kV motor, which we do have a video up for that, and it's ridiculous, but we did sadly burn out that motor. So here is the 4S battery I would suggest if you decide to run 4S. And this one does also fit just like that, and you still have enough strap to fully strap this battery in. Look at that. So now let me grab my connector box. Let's talk about connectors. Alright guys, so here is my connector box, and it actually does look like I have an EC3 in here. So we will be using this EC3 today, but if the EC3 did not work, here is an XT60. They will plug in, but it is more of a pain. So we'll go ahead and get this IC3 thrown on. And I mean, guys, there's all kinds of connectors. You can use an XT60. If you really wanted to go big, you could use an EC5. You could just do pins. I don't suggest just doing pins. And then here I do have an IC2 that I could change the battery over, but the wires are just too thick on them to do that. Those little connectors. And that's it, guys. So basically, the reason I do not suggest the Deans is just because of the way their connectors are. They don't really have pins. They have, well, actually they do have pins, but they don't have bullets. Most of your higher output connectors have bullets like that. This does not. It has a flat that slides in together, and I don't care for that. We'll probably change this connector out too. I actually don't know why this still has Deans. I must have had some with Deans on it. I just didn't want to change it at one time, so I just left that the way it is. And that pack has a ton of runs on it, I know, so I must have had a boat or something that had that on it. Oh, you know what I did? The Volantics. The Volantics had that connector. So, we're going to have to switch over the car. That's what we're going to do first. I'll show you how we're going to do this here. Grab my stand. This is the big Trax stand. And I'm just going to use this to set this down on the side. Gonna hope. I don't know if I got my block in here, where my block went. So this is probably going to kind of suck. Okay. Yeah, it's going to suck, just as I thought. So now with these wires being so different, just make sure you take a look at what's what. So this side's plus. Put this one on first, so let's get that cut off there. Oh my god, out of the 20 cutters, I've only got one over here. Alright, well, I'll have to grab cutters. Here we go, guys. Perfectly soldered connector. So I'll push this over. There we go. Now you can't ever tell it was really even soldered. So now, let's put this to the side so I don't burn myself. Then, SMC3S. Look at that. We got power. Fantastic. That's all there is to it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. These are the batteries I suggest, the connectors I suggest. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like and subscribe.